Hannover Messe might be over, but to bring a slice of the amazing show to you, we have an interview from the show floor. We'll cover the topic of battery passports and the industry technology groups making them a reality before the European Union deadline in 2027. I'm going to hand it off to Max Radford for the interview.
It's now time to talk about two innovative projects that are transforming the automotive industry, specifically the industry's approach to circularity and regulatory compliance. The first is Catena-X, an initiative we have talked about several times here already. The second is an initiative that we're excited to present today. It's an initiative that is built on Catena-X, and that initiative is Path.Era. And with Path.Era, leading industry players in the battery supply chain are paving the way to building battery passports which are legally required in the EU by 2027. Here to talk with me about this, I'm glad to welcome my guests. We have from Siemens, Bernd Mangler, who is the Senior Vice President for Automotive. We have from BASF, Dr. Matthias Dohrn, who is the Chief Procurement Officer. And we have the Vice President, BMW, and Chairman of the Board at Catena-X, Oliver Ganser. Welcome, gentlemen. So, Oliver, if I could start with you. We already know Catena-X quite well, as I said. Now, with Path.Era, what are you actually aiming to achieve?
Well, as you mentioned already, with Catena, we built the foundation to have a trusted data space where companies can share data amongst each other in a very trusted, self-sovereign way. Path.Era is one use case within the data ecosystem, meaning to address the problem of how to share a product passport on a dedicated building block in the car, the battery. The battery passport will come in 2027 in Europe, but later also in other markets around the world. It's not just Europe, it's Korea, it's China, and other places. Now, the question is how to get it going. And Path.Era is exactly all about that. To join, have the right partners in the right place to activate this network and build a product passport for the battery from the mining company up to the OEM and going beyond in a trusted way. Because trust, and we will get to that probably in a second, is the element. Can I believe in the data? Can I share it? And so on. And that's what we represent here as Path.Era.
Okay. And as you said, trust, we will get to that a bit later on. So ambitious plans, I think we can all agree, but very exciting. So Bernd, if we look at the creation of battery passports in general, right, what are the concrete challenges that we're facing here?
Well, Max, one of the core challenges we face is that if you think about the complexity of an automotive supply chain, and Oliver already touched into a supply chain in automotive means not the number of people in the supply chain, but also across the whole globe. I think a key challenge is that we have to activate the supply chain, that we have to activate the suppliers. And that is, I think, one of the key challenges with Path.Era is definitely addressing, in my eyes, in the right way. The second topic is we have to find what I could call a suitable and usable software solution, an industrial hardened offering which really addresses that what you need in a supply chain for an automotive industry. And we have to, and by bringing these partners together, I think we also have to find a very good way utilizing this knowledge, utilizing common standards and proven technologies to mitigate the risks along the way, including exchanging data and all that, including in Europe a compliance risk. Yeah. So I think that is basically the three key challenges we have coming to my mind we need to tackle.
Okay. So big challenges everywhere we look then, basically. Matthias, can you maybe share with us how the industry is currently tackling these challenges? And then maybe you can try and outline for us how Path.Era is different.
Sure. So when you look at the current industry approaches, what you see in the market is on the one hand side, you try to figure that out with your own supplier portal, or you go for external databases, try to upload it there. Some are also setting more on a centralized approach with a service provider who does it all for you. But the consequence, because somehow it's all interconnected, the consequence is finally that you have to manage a lot of interfaces, that you have to somehow figure out how do those different approaches talk to each other. And there, I firmly believe also as head of procurement, that then it means a lot of cost to you. Yeah, because you need to somehow transfer this data in between those nets. So Path.Era addresses this with a complete different approach. It's based on Catena-X, so it's decentralized on common standards. And what we try to do is to streamline the interfaces, so really use the ecosystem that everything connects together. And I think we are ready. I think we worked a long time on it. So now with Path.Era and Path.Era Connect, we are ready. We are Catena-X certified, so we are ready to use and go live.
Okay. Now, staying with you, Matthias. So the people who, or the organizations who issue the battery passports are the electric vehicle OEMs, right? And I mean, BASF is a leading player, but you're a leading player in chemicals. So why would this be of any relevance to you?
I think, as Oliver said right from the start, it's only the beginning. So when you look into the passports, so digital passports, digital product passports, they will be used in many, many industries. They are already used in textiles, in steel, in chemicals, and I think we will see more to come. Are these always the same, let's say, the same attributes you send over with the passport? No, they might differentiate. So, for example, not just the PCF or water usage, but also many, many more than specific attributes to the product. So when you look at the whole approach, I think we need to disrupt currently to really achieve it in a most cost-efficient manner. We need to disrupt it with such a product like Path.Era, because there you can very easily scale also into other industries and really get an advantage for all of us.
Now, Oliver, at the beginning, you mentioned trust, and now we're going to get back to it. What exactly do we mean by trust in this context, and why is it so important?
Well, I think the first thing is trust cannot be negotiated. It's there or it's not there, but there's not much in between. So within Catena, and that's also Path.Era, we have 3 layers of trust. Can I trust these people and legal entities? Trust in your digital identity, right? Does the data come from the right people? And is that specific in a digital world where we see with AI, so many manipulations, it's key that I know Matthias is the BASF I know. The second element, can I trust in the data? Is it verified? That's a huge element, what we're building upon right now. When I receive the data, I do not want to check if you did your job or somebody else in the chain. I want to make sure that I can trust the data I receive. And the third layer, I think that's an obvious one, is pretty much, can I trust in the solution that's out there? That this solution that we use, if it's a solution from Siemens or Connexify or any other partner in this data ecosystem, is this working based on the standards, based on the methodologies we asked for? And these are key elements: trust identities, trust in the data, and trust in the solutions that manipulate, share, and grow the data amongst the ecosystem.
Okay. So we know why we need Path.Era, and we know what its main goals are. Bernd, if we look back, since Path.Era was founded, what have we achieved? And then we look into the future and look at what is next. What can you tell us?
Well, first, that we are here together, I think, is already proof one thing. We have achieved something which is not always the case easily. We have achieved to get together companies from the supply chain, important player in the chemical industry. We have an important player from the battery cell industry. We have a car producing OEM, and ourselves as a company saying experienced in how you make hardened products on offerings in hardware or software for the industry. So I think that already bringing these players together is an achievement on its own. But nevertheless, that alone doesn't pay the bill at the end. So next thing we have achieved, I mentioned already the importance of a supply chain. We already have achieved a double-digit number of suppliers onboarding and therefore going on this way or path with us, and therefore also by utilizing it, giving us more proof to verify that we are on the right path, what still has to be improved and so on. So I think that is very important. Then using the foundation of Catena-X and bringing a passport, but doing it in a way, as Matthias already mentioned, that it is a blueprint for many, many more upcoming passport. Matthias mentioned it. For us, electronics is very important. I think it's also something that we have achieved, which is now based on Catena, based on Cofinity, something which is really ready, available to really be a scalable solution along the industry. And that we also, all companies have been willing to bring the domain experts into this game. And that, I think, is a key difference if you compare it with many other offerings for passports. We joined forces and the domain experts along the whole chain came together and assembling something which then basically fits the needs for the whole chain and not just for one player in the chain. And to learn more in the future, I think great things to come, but the easiest, and for us, I think the most beneficial thing would be, don't hesitate. Well, you can go to the webpage, but contact the people, your contacts at BMW, at BASF or Siemens directly. We are more than happy to share what's coming down the road. And I can only promise it's very exciting.
That's great. That's a good segue to Oliver. So if we prepare for the future, Oliver, the future of and with battery passports, what is your advice to people who want to get started with Catena-X and or Path.Era?
So I think the future is always bright. That's important, right? No fairy tale ends in a dark forest. So you have to, at this given time, believe in it. And you need pioneers. And we talked about trust. The pioneers I have right next to me, I couldn't be more proud of, because it's important that you muscle through for something that nobody else did. There's no product, passport, application, or scenario out there that works right now. We want to be the ones who prove it. But what the industry, besides us, need now are to try it out. And the time is not unlimited. I think it's time now for all of our suppliers and partners and also market participants to jump on solutions that are there to fulfill regulatory requirements and also get some kinds of innovation out there that you have a business return, that it's not just a sunk cost. So my advice is very simple. Don't wait. It takes time to get your data. It takes time then to make this happening in a network and to build those chains, but we are just the pioneers. The others should follow now. And it doesn't take a lot. So get connected to Cofinity, to our application store, get one of the solution providers that is out there, and get your business connected to Catena via Path.Era for the battery passport.
That indeed sounds like a pretty bright future. And with that, we've just about come to the end.
Hold on. I think we need to thank the whole team, because what we finally delivered is really, with industry players, a solution from the industry for the industry. And this is, of course, not just the three of us. It's a big team behind us, a lot of more partners out of the industry. So I think from all of us, big thank you. Amazing job. And we're very proud to launch it today.
Wow.
Thank you.
Great team effort. And with that, I'd like to say a big thank you to Oliver, to Matthias, and for Bernd for joining me here today. See you all soon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be back soon with even more battery discussion on Siemens Battery Podcast. Make sure to subscribe, check out our previous conversations, or read even more about our solutions for the battery industry on our website, siemens.com/battery. This podcast contains the personal views and opinions of the speakers. It is important to note that these opinions are solely those of the speakers and do not reflect the views or positions of Siemens, its management, its employees, or any entities the speakers may be affiliated with. Siemens as a company does not endorse any of these statements made in the podcast. Siemens bears no responsibility for ensuring the content's accuracy or verifying the statements made in this podcast.